The 11th session of the 14th Supreme People's Assembly of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was held at the Mansudae Assembly Hall between October the 7th and the 8th. Present at the session were deputies to the Supreme People's Assembly, and as observers were officials of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly, the Cabinet, ministries, national agencies, and armed forces organs, chairpersons of the provincial, city and county people's committees, and other officials concerned in the capital and provinces. The rostrum was taken by senior officials of the party, the government, and the military, including Kim Do-kun, Cha Ryong-hae, and Lee Byung-chol, members of the Presidium of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, the chairman and the vice chairpersons of the Supreme People's Assembly, members of the State Affairs Commission, and the vice chairman, the secretary general, and members of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly. Deputy Park In-chol, chairman of the Supreme People's Assembly, delivered an opening address. When the session was declared open, the national anthem of the DPRK was played. The 11th session of the 14th Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK presented the following agenda items. First, on revising and supplementing some contents of the Socialist Constitution of the DPRK. Second, on examining and adopting the DPRK law on light industry. Third, on examining and adopting the DPRK law on external economic relations. Fourth, on the inspection and supervision of the execution of the DPRK law on quality control. Fifth, on the organizational issue. Deputy Cha Ryong-hae, chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly, made a report on the first agenda item. He said the agenda item reflected the content that the working and voting ages of the citizens of the DPRK shall be amended, since the ages of the students leaving the senior middle schools are changed from this year after the adoption of the law of the Supreme People's Assembly on enforcing the universal 12-year compulsory education system. He presented a relevant amendment for deliberation of the Supreme People's Assembly. The session adopted the law of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK on revising and supplementing some contents of the Socialist Constitution of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea with unanimous approval. The session discussed other agenda items concerning the drafts of the DPRK law on light industry and law on external economic relations. Deputy Kang Yun-suk, vice chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly, made reports on the second and third agenda items. Speeches on those agenda items were made at the session. The session made a study and consultation of the draft bills on the sectional laws and examined and supplemented the constructive opinions of the deputies before adopting the ordinances of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK on adopting the DPRK law on light industry and on adopting the DPRK law on external economic relations. During the discussion of the fourth agenda item, there was a report on the inspection and supervision of the execution of the quality control law, which was followed by speeches. Deputies presented opinions and measures to improve and strengthen the quality control in line with the demand of the reality. The session adopted the decision of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK on thoroughly executing the DPRK law on quality control. The organizational issue was discussed as the fifth agenda item. Deputy Chol, chairman of the Supreme People's Assembly, made a closing address.